There we go. All right. Welcome to a beautiful Akashic Q&A. I have the feeling this is going to be a very nice and cozy one. If you are, of course, if you're here with me in the Sacred Alignment Academy, then you have priority to ask questions. If there's no questions in the room, I'm going into the YouTube chat and I'm going to just see which is there. All of my answers that will be channeled are from the Akashic records. They might be from very specific Akashic records. They might be from very general one, depending on the question. And let's just have a nice time and learn to understand the universe, understand life, this crazy human journey we're on. Let's just get some clarity on it. I also know that this live stream is the day before the Lion's Gate. Tomorrow is the peak of the, maybe we're already in it, but it's going to be the peak of the Lion's Gate energy. And I will do a special event on the Lion's Gate. And also the next week, the Akashic Records have been prompting me to do 5 different energy transmissions specifically on abundance. If you want to be part of that journey, there is a website called augustofabundance.com, and you can just go there and sign up, and you will receive every day an email with the live stream. There's also some VIP possibilities where you can join an hour of live coaching. So feel free to check it out. The standard admission is free entrance, and the VIP is also very affordable. So let's get abundant together in this month. I really believe the energy is something special. Like we're truly in a Lion's Gate because both the Sun and Jupiter, which is the planet of expansion, is in Leo. Right, so there's already 2 of the most powerful energies in Leo, right? So there's already that energy, the Leo energy, is an expansion. And I'm not an astrologer. I only know a little bit. But one thing that I know about Leo is it's quite royal. It's a fire sign. So it's fiery, it's passionate, it's warm. It's a warm heart. Most Leos that I know have warm hearts, but can also have big egos. And yeah, they can really feel like they're on top of the world. They can really feel like they're the king of the jungle. So I really find the Leo very fitting with the lion energy. And Leo is also about being okay with standing in the spotlight, of sharing your gifts, of being warm. And one thing that I know from my astrology is that both my sun sign, but also my Chiron, which is kind of the thing you're struggling with, the wound that you're here to heal, are both in the sign of Leo. So my light wants to shine, and at the same time, that's where all my that's where all my healing needs to happen. Right, so it took me months before I even opened a YouTube channel because of that same reason. It was just so hard for me to share. So yeah, let's get the questions rolling. I already see a beautiful question here in the chat by Kekika Miller. This is the question. Let's start with that one. I feel like I noticed a pattern where difficult energies intensify until they leave the orbit, like an unstable electron. I think you noticed this very well. So a lot of energies need to be seen. I'm going to open the records as well, but what I know for myself is a lot of energies, first of all, needs to be observed. They need to be seen before they're able to leave. But once they're fully seen, they can dissolve like extremely quickly. That's also true with different distortions. That's true with things that we need to heal inside of ourselves. I see this pattern all over the planet. I see it in me, I see it in my coaching, I see it in the Q&A that we do. There is just this energy of, it's there. First we need to see that it's there, and then once we see it's there, it can just instantly leave. It almost feels like it needs to pass our conscious awareness before it is able to fully leave. Now, when it comes to quantum physics, that's exactly how electron works, right? We sometimes have the feeling that electrons move very stable around the proton, because when you have a nice icon of an atom, it really looks like, oh, there is this middle core and there's these funny little circles around the core. But that's a very old picture of an atom. That's a picture of an atom maybe from the 1900s. They knew, or they thought atom was behaving like that. But since quantum physics, since the last century, it's the way an atom is perceived is way different. And you're right there. You're exactly on the spot. Like an unstable electrons, they don't even have to be unstable or not. They go in and out of the quantum field constantly. It's not like a stable energy orbit. It's actually just in, out, in, out, out, in, out, in, out, out, in. It's like very interesting how that works. So they're in and out of our dimension. They're not in and out of reality. It's not that they stop existing. Nothing can stop existing. They're just out of our perceivable reality. They switch from reality. You might even have they might even be a portal to the other dimension, right? They might go to the fifth or the sixth dimension and back to the third. Of course, our science is not there yet, I believe. I don't know where science is currently. The last time I checked was 2022, and it was already fascinating how far science was there. But it's very interesting how they can just go in and out of our perceivable reality. So it's fascinating. And the same thing happens with our own energies, with energies of others, with different distortions. Sometimes we just need to see it and just see it. We should not have anything attached to it. We just need to see it, just observe it, just notice it's there. And then all of a sudden it can poof away. Like it can really move out of you. It can start moving, it can start spiraling, and then it's left. We do something in the Sacred Alignment Academy that's called alchemy sessions, where we just hold space for somebody that is in has a hard time. And just by constantly allowing whatever is in the field to be seen, movement starts happening. And within sometimes 20 minutes, half an hour, they feel so much lighter than before they went into the session. And the only thing we did was observing and not resisting, just observing it without any judgment or any resistance. Just, hey, it's okay that you're here right now. It changes the way we feel very quickly. So I like your question. I'm going to ask the records too, and I'm going to ask which records. Energy dynamics. Okay, I'm going to open the Akashic records of energy dynamics, and I'm going to channel a little bit for you to answer this question from their point of view. Love and light, I hereby open the Akashic records of energy dynamics using the Andromedian prayer. Dear ones, the question of Kekika Miller is, I feel like I noticed a pattern where the difficult energies intensify until they leave the orbit, like an unstable electron. Can you shine a light on this? It's beautifully worded, almost poetic, and at the same time, very literal. thank you for noticing these dynamics. You are very aware that you are seeing this happening in front of your eyes, because most humans are not noticing it to this extent. There is a reason why it first gets louder before it leaves. And there is a reason that it leaves, and that it truly seems to be removed from your being or from your field of awareness and energy. The reason that it needs to become louder or starts to increase in intensity has to do with the seeing of it. Everything you put your awareness on grows. But in this specific case, where you are observing energy, you see this even faster. And it needs to grow for your awareness to fully see what's happening. And that's not always comfortable, because when this energy is of discomfort, then the discomfort will grow. If it's painful, the pain seems to grow. You have to know in such situations that you are completely protected, that nothing can truly harm you, and that these energies are here to actually leave the system. It is good to also know that all energy that comes into your present moment awareness is ready to transmute, is ready to move, to change. Not everything has to necessarily leave the system, but the unwanted energies or the energies that are simply not yours to carry will want to leave the system. They're not in their original place. So whenever that comes up, after fully seeing it, they will leave. Other energies actually belong to your system, but might find themselves in a contracted state. These energies will not necessarily leave, but they will transmute. And this transmutation can be very beautiful. It can go for something very dense to something very light and stay with you in that state of lightness. The key to all of this is the observance of yourself. The more you are able to see yourself, the more energy can move through you. And the more energy can move through you, the more energy will come to you. It's a very simple equation once you see this. Especially for people that are listening that might feel stuck or might feel exhausted. That's the opposite. That's a lack of energy coming to you. That's not really a lack, it's a perceived lack. It is that the energy is not naturally flowing to you at that moment. If you want to change that, the very first thing and most profound thing you can do is to start observing your own present moment and allowing all the energies that you find to be there. You only have to see it. You don't have to send it away. You don't have to judge it as good or bad. You don't have to overanalyze it. You just have to observe it like you observe a television screen. See your own energy body as a television screen, and you will notice that there are some very profound lessons in place. Some energy simply don't have any information attached to them and just want to change shape or move out of your system. But other energies will come up with memories, with emotions, and with thoughts, and they will be released. And once the release happens, you will feel a lightness. It is all in the observance of it. If it wants to become bigger, let it become bigger. If it wants to change position, let it change position. If it wants to go from solid to liquid, let it change. And vice versa, when it wants to go from liquid to solid, let it change. Your mind might have commentary like, ooh, it is getting worse. Ooh, I might need to call a doctor. Ooh, this doesn't feel right. But these mental projections are not helping the energy flow. When the true energy flow is able to just be seen and observed, you will notice a very natural progression. It requires a level of surrender to admit this stream, to fully move into you. But once it moves, you will notice that life is taking you to higher and higher places. And like we shared, more and more energy becomes available to you. You quite literally become lighter. And the more light you become, the more lighter life becomes. You will not find yourself anymore in dense situations. Everything will start to lighten up. And this is the process of somebody on the path. That's why self-awareness and the ability to concentrate and to focus on your inner being is of such profound nature. It's also the reason why so many people are fighting for your attention. Luckily, the world doesn't know that when they go too much into the extreme of getting your attention, actually a human being feels naturally inclined to move back inwardly, reflecting, meditating, contemplating, going to nature and leaving your phone at home. Things like that, actions like that will actually be stimulated by the same forces that are fighting for your attention. And that is because humanity is becoming more and more aware and will soon realize that the addiction towards the screens is simply an unhealthy one that takes life away. But we have digressed. We wanted to first of all thank you for the awareness, for sharing this, for seeing this. You are aware of a very powerful energy dynamic in your own body, and you can increase the energy dynamic by observing yourself. Make this a consistent practice, and you will become lighter and lighter and receive more and more energy in return. That is the conclusion and abbreviation of the answer. Does this help, and do you have any follow-up question to your question? Okay. Thank you, Kekika Miller. Let me know if there's more questions, but that's wonderful. Thank you for sharing that. So, I'm curious if there's anybody here in the Zoom room that has a question, because you have priority. And otherwise, we can continue with the questions of the YouTube chat.
I wrote a question in the chat.
Ah, thank you. Okay, I have a question about creativity. How to come overcome creative blocks and ultimately release the creative genius. There is a great way to release creativity that we normally do not. Is there a great way to release creativity that we normally do not think about? Many artists experience these blocks, and I'm curious why this is happening. Wow, what a beautiful question. Can I answer them from this records? Shall I open other records? No. Okay, I'm good. Wow, please answer this question on creativity. Dear, we are so blessed that you are pointing the attention upon creativity, the unleashing of creativity, and the creative blocks. Now, there is a very beautiful and powerful way to release creativity in each human being. The nuances are different, but the general dynamics of how this energy wants to be birthed into the world is very similar in each person. It's only the uniqueness and their own expression that makes it very unique. And of course, their own mind. And it is good to start with the mind because your imaginative ability is also your creative ability. When the imagination is fully linked with your own actions and the knowingness that you can create whatever you set your mind to, you very naturally start to move into the creation of things. Now, what happens in most artists is that their mind is very critical. Most artists are their own worst critic. They are super strict. They never feel that they have done enough. But if that is part of the imagination and of the thought realm, creativity starts to be hindered. It's not fully able to unleash itself. The creativity wants to, but it is met with a lot of critical thoughts why it is not good enough. And that is a major block that a lot of creative artists are facing. Most of them will go through a journey of first having loads of fun, but then becoming critical, and then starting feeling the effect of being critical, not knowing that the effect actually comes from their own critical thinking. The trick then is to go back to the mind of the child that is not worrying about how it looks or what other people think. It just wants to draw, or it just wants to sing, or it just wants to dance, or it just wants to create. That is a trick when it comes to creativity, because there you will notice the unleashing of the full power. But there is also some of your adult qualities that can really help here. Because adults are able to plan, to create spaces, to have connections and make things happen. In this case, adults can provide the resources for the creativity to fully unleash and create the right place to do so. It can prepare the right materials. Those are things that previously your parents or caretakers did. or maybe your teachers. Now you can be the provider of these materials. But once that is set, it is time to go back to a very pure state of imagination and to not be tortured by critical thoughts. If you are able to remove the critic from the picture, that energy that normally would go to creative or to critical thoughts will be going into creative thought. And when the imagination is linked with your creation, is linked with the ability that you can do it and that it is fun and that it is an amazing journey and that you so enjoy every moment of the journey and just enjoy how the pencil moves across the paper or the brush across the canvas or how your voice is vibrating or how your feet are loving to dance, whatever the creative act is. Even in the digital space, you can be creating and you can just love what you're seeing on the screen, love the way your mouse clicks or how the buttons move in and out and make the sound. When you are so enjoying the moment, so enjoying the creation, and the critic is not in the room, there will be a very strong unleashing of the creativity. If you do that, first you move from a place of interest. But if the interest is not met with criticism, the interest starts to become a passion. When it becomes a passion, higher levels of energy are able to flow through your creativity. Then there is one more level to it. Once the passion is again not met with criticism, but just by joy and flow and loving the journey, at one point you will notice an obsession. And what is interesting is that obsession, for some, have negative qualities to it. But we don't see that there is any negativity to it. Most people that are truly experts in their field all are obsessed about that field. Whatever you do, let the critic be removed. Your critic mind might convince you that criticism is a good quality, but it isn't. It is simply a protective mechanism, protecting you from the fear of judgment, the fear of failure, the fear of rejection, and the fear of not being loved. All fears that came a little bit later than early childhood into the picture. If you are able to bring your mind back to the early childhood creativity and realize that criticism is simply not of any value to your creative act, you will be able to purify the creative space again. You will start being interested again. Interest turns into passion. Passion turns into obsession. And obsession will make you an expert in the field. There is one more quality that the children have that also the great artists have. And that is that they think without limits. There is no box that they place themselves in. Basically, you might say they're out of the box. They're thinking out of the box, but they're truly, for them, there is no box. Everything is possible. Every combination, every connection, every form of material, and how to combine those material and how to use those material, everything is limitless in their mind. This is again a child quality, but also a quality of the great artists. So once an artist is in their expression, may they be absolutely limitless. There is no ID too crazy. Let them know that every ID that they have is part of their genius. And by not being afraid of what other people will think, that genius will naturally come out in their expression. You also see this in movies. Most of the best movie scenes are improvised. They are moved out of the script. And the moment simply happened because the actor was so much in the role, it started to move and express itself based on their own genius, based on their own way of acting. And you notice that many of the genius movie scenes were not scripted. They happened in the moment because somebody felt some form of expression arising and they were not afraid to just go for it and express it out loud. In this, we gave you the ingredients for unleashing your genius and your creativity. The difficult part is the removing of the critic. But it doesn't have to be that difficult. Just know that every form of down talking, criticism, is this good enough? Thoughts and energies are simply not serving you. And once you stop entertaining them and move yourself again and again into the joy of the present moment, you will notice that criticism will completely disappear and your creative expression is free again. Does that help, dear one?
It makes perfect sense. Thank you. Wonderful.
Wow, yeah, let's go. I want to create. Now I want to create. I'm already creating, but I want to create. Thank you. That's wonderful. Okay. Thank you so much. There is another question from Kekika Miller here in the chat that says, what about when you feel stuck dealing with difficult energy? What about when you feel stuck dealing with difficult energy? Dear records. Yes, dear one, we would love to share with you what we already shared, but based on this specific topic. Stuckness, most of the time, is a lack of perceived energy that is available. And how to get the energy is actually by becoming present with the moment and allowing the difficult energy that you're dealing with to be fully seen. Sometimes life seems to come at a standstill, not because life wants you to be stuck, but because life wants to lets you see a specific pattern that is not serving you any longer, and it will create a space for you to see it. For example, this channel was placed in a limbo state for a couple months. And what he needed to see was all of the patterns and thinking that had to do with money that were simply not based in divine flow and divinity. He had certain human conditioning attached to it. So life created a space where there was no income and not any clue what he wanted to do next. With bills to pay, all of the thoughts that were related with money came up. It was difficult, but with our help, he was able to see very clearly the energy, the patterning and conditioning he was being given from his parents and from his country, that is a very hard-working country. He was able to see that these conditionings were not aligned with divinity, in which prosperity is your birthright. And by seeing clearly that actually the space and the place that first felt like a stuckness and a curse was actually the perfect environment to be able to take some time to look at his own inner emotions, he was able to release it. And soon after, he was able to launch his YouTube journey and his first course. After the seeing of it, life started flowing again with new inspiration, creativity, new nudges and urges to learn new skills. It was wonderful. Now, when it comes to your personal situation, we would love to ask you to do the same thing. Don't see the stuckness as stuckness. See the stuckness as life saying to you, pause for a moment. Don't try to find a solution. Be with the energy. Observe it. Which shape does it have in your body? What does it want to say to you? Have you felt this earlier? Is it linked to the past? Is it your energy or somebody else's? Why is it currently in your field? You don't have to overanalyze it. You can just look at it and see it for what it is. You will notice that if you only see it for a couple minutes, it already starts moving. Let it move. Let it change shape. Let it change intensity. Let it change form. Let it show you what it wants to tell you. And know that sooner than later, the energy will be transmuted or left your system, and your situation that felt stuck will feel like flowing again. Enjoy the journey and the observation, dear one. You know that whenever something difficult comes up in your field, you are ready to see that difficulty. The subconscious will only release energy that the person can handle. So it is beautiful that it is coming up. It is actually a sign that you have evolved to see the deeper aspects that are not fully seen yet. Enjoy the seeing of yourself. You are ready for it. Whoa. Okay, that's cool. I love it. Ooh, it's 2112. I see these times everywhere. I'm sure you do too. Wow, I love these questions. So, if you haven't signed up for August of Abundance, I would love for you to do it. It's free. And it starts tomorrow. And we're gonna have where this comes from. This is the Akashic Records where I'm connected to. We will have 5 longer transmissions on abundance. And they will show us all the different levels of abundance and how we can create prosperity and abundance in our lives. This is about money, but also about love, about frequency, and just about being in this state. I really like it, and recently I have felt so many changes inside of it. So feel free to sign up. I would love to have you. Tomorrow we go into the Lions Gate, and the next week, 10 August, 11, 12, 13, we will have these transmissions. It's going to be so good. I'm looking forward to it. There was one question that was in the community, and she couldn't join, but she asked me to ask this question. This question is from Emma. And her question was, what is the direction humanity should move towards to achieve more peace in the world? So, let me ask. That's a wonderful question. Is there any records that you want me to open for this? Humankind, okay. Love and light, I hereby open the Akashic records of humankind using the Andromedan prayer. I get the message that I need to drink some water, and I get the message that I need to light an incense. Feel free to drink some water with me. And if you like incense, light an incense. Because sometimes these things are needed. If you ever see me at a party or a festival, you might see me dancing with an incense stick. I don't smoke anymore. This is the new smoking, just having an incense stick in my hand. Oh, my lighter is not working. Come on, come on. Okay. Maybe it doesn't want to be lit. All right. Then I will do it without. Let me first check. Dear records. No, it doesn't want to go. Oh, yes. Yes. Okay, the incense at last. I needed to have some faith. All right, dear records. What is the direction humanity should move towards to achieve more peace in the world? Let us know. Dear one, thank you for your question. And there is a complex and a simple answer to this. The complex answer is something that might take days to share, but it will have a lot of detail. The simple answer we can share now, and you will notice that the energy dynamics are very beautiful, and it doesn't take too much. Now, the first thing we need to know is that to achieve peace, humanity needs to both love peace and love conflict. And that's an interesting dynamic to be in. You need to be able to hold both the state of stillness and the state of chaos. Conflict is not necessarily bad. It actually is a way of resolving things. It's even a way of connecting. But when conflict is not treated well, it can turn into very ugly, unaligned states. When conflict is seen in the light of love, you will notice already that a lot of turmoil in the world will be resolved. Now, it needs, for this to happen, there is a tipping point effect in place. The tipping point is about 1% of humans' population need to be fully embodying peace for the collective consciousness to adopt it. Only 1%. Now that's still a couple million of humans, but it is way less than what most humans realize is needed. Because once enough humans embody the state of peace, the collective consciousness will infuse that and transport that seed into all the other humans that are not necessarily intending to embody peace. They will naturally start to err and move towards peace when this tipping point has reached. Now, then what does it mean to embody peace? To fully embody peace? We already talked about that we need to be peaceful with conflict. We should not see conflict as bad, but conflict as part of life, and even something that can result in some good qualities. It's not necessarily evil or bad. But next to that, and probably most importantly, we need to find peace inside of ourselves. That means more literally, we need to stop fighting with ourselves. Or even more literally, every part of you that is in resistance with the current moment or in resistance with your life needs to be released and relaxed and seen, so that eventually you become non-resistant to life. When you are non-resistant to life, you are in peace. Even when you are thrown into the unknown, if there is no resistance to it, you will be in peace in every situation. Most resistance is actually generated internally. That means that you might be doing something. You might be driving somewhere or walking somewhere, and something happened on the streets that is not according to your liking, and you just feel a contraction, a growl, an energy in your system, a tensing up. That's resistance. That's where you actually have the vibration of violence or violation into your field. We're not saying you are violent, but there is definitely a disruptor of peace in your field. Sometimes when you can really not stand a person, you might have some very violent thoughts. You might want to throw them out of the window, or you might be happy if they would get a car crash. These thoughts might spring very spontaneously and irrationally out of your mind. Sometimes it's even hard to stop them. It's okay to admit that these thoughts occur. They can be pointed to others, they can be pointed to organizations and governments, and they can also be pointed to yourself. It doesn't matter where the thoughts are pointed to. If this frequency is in place where you want to somehow harm or violate or blame or attack something inside of you, those are exactly the way for you to establish inner peace. And what is interesting is that most people that actually wish for peace will go on a journey in exploring their inner conflict. But if they don't realize that actually their wish for peace is creating this journey of inner conflict, they might only get more distressed. And they might get more hopeless in their pursuit. While actually it is the fastest way towards it. What we want to say with this is that whenever something comes up like this, know that that is your unique way to inner peace. If you want to throw someone out of the window, that's your way of looking at it and like, here is a form of violation inside of my system. This violence needs to be seen and be released. And whenever you start to become non-resistant to it, that's the key word here. Whenever you become non-resistant to it, you're not resisting anymore that this is happening in your system. You're not resisting anymore. You're not in any way holding it or finding it inappropriate. None of that. You just allow it to flow inside of your system. You will become more peaceful. Eventually, these same situations will not have the same effect on you. And you will start to have realizations. Wow, that would have really agitated me a couple months ago, but I feel completely okay. That's right, you are developing more inner peace. And like that, you will continue the journey until nothing can disturb your peace. That's your journey of inner peace. The more you are able to embody this peacefulness, the more others will be inspired to do the same. And so doing, eventually, the tipping point will be reached. Once the tipping point is reached, humans will naturally find the idea of violence a very weird and inappropriate idea, and eventually will completely stop it. The same will happen with racism, the same will happen with animal harm, the same will happen with all the darkness you see in the world. There is a reason why so much darkness has come up in the last 20 to 30 years, but it has been going on for almost a century now. The reason is, just like on a personal level, you can be only seeing darkness when your consciousness is ready for it. The human consciousness is ready to tackle these concepts. You have the technology and the awareness now to fully see the ridiculousness of violence, the ridiculousness of war, the ridiculousness of human trafficking, racism, all different kind of rights issues, There is still so much ridiculousness in your world, but you are seeing it and you are working through it and you let it move through your emotional body and you become non-resistant to it and you let it flow and become more peaceful and more peaceful. You will start to feel more peace around you, more stability comes. You start to feel that things that previously shook you or irritated you don't have any power over you anymore, and it just will be an increasing motion to eventually you really feel like a walking Buddha, completely in harmony with all of life, even the conflict, even the random things that happen throughout the day. You will see the perfection in it, as God sees the perfection, as the enlightened masters sees the perfection. You don't have to go as far to be an enlightened master, but it is that way that will lead to inner peace as one of the milestones that you will reach. So keep seeing your own inner agitation as the fastest way to inner peace, and you will do your part. And you will be so contagious that others will be accelerated on this path as well. And if more and more people do their part and reach their inner peace, it will soon move out of the collective consciousness as something that simply doesn't make any sense. At the moment, you're still not in the realization. Humans are, in a way, too ignorant on a collective consciousness level. The tipping point is not fully reached, but is very close. So see your agitation, work with it, become peace from the inside out, and you will have the fastest way towards this. Thank you for your question, dear one. We hope it shines a beautiful light on the inner workings of peace and at the same time the outer workings of the collective. Sow it in, sow it out. Wow. Oei, oei. Thank you for your question, Emma. That's wonderful. Hey, I see Jeroen is in the house. Thank you for the birthday wishes, man. I wish you a wonderful wedding wishes. Happy wedding wishes, Jeroen. It's good to see you. And Maggie is driving somewhere. Okay, please keep your eyes on the road. Sometimes I say don't drink and channel the Akashic records, or don't drive. Also don't drink, but don't drive and channel the Akashic records, because they might take you to some trippy places, and you want to have your full attention on the road. Okay, good to see you all. Is there any more questions to the records? Any here in the Zoom room? Maybe Carolyn? Let me check in the chat. There is. No, that's still the beautiful creative question that we already had. Oh man, Jeroen has such an epic way of asking his fiance right now to be married. It's absolutely epic. He's an epic guy, so I couldn't explain less. But he did a 200-kilometer march in the Netherlands, a very famous march called the Vierdaagse. And at the end of it, while he was interviewed by one of the main presenters of the event, he went on his knees. Such a beautiful moment. I loved it. Absolutely loved it. Congratulations. I'm happy she said yes. That will be something if that didn't happen. All right. I'm curious if there's any more questions in the room out there. If not, it's just good. Let's just have an amazing weekend, no? Um, you're complete, Caroline? Complete? No questions? Or do you have a question?
I was thinking about the Lionsgate, but I guess you will tell us about that tomorrow.
Yeah, so tomorrow we will have a Lionsgate ceremony. You're very very invited, and it's already in the Sacred Alignment Academy calendar. We will have because you're part of the Sacred Alignment Academy, we will have an hour of Akashic coaching up front, and we will have that throughout the whole week. So if you want to get most out of it, let's go, let's be there, and you might just receive a whole session of Akashic record coaching for you. So yeah, like people that are not part of it yet, you can go to augustofabundance.com, and there you can sign up. It's completely for free. The VIP is available when you join the Sacred Alignment Academy, and the Lionsgate is so powerful because I don't know. I think last year you were with us too, but it was just it is such a portal that has been celebrated for millennia. You can even see temples in ancient Greece, in Turkey. I've been to a temple in Turkey that has it. In Malta there were temples. In Egypt there are temples that are not built for the sun. They're actually praising Sirius, the star Sirius. The star Sirius is rising on the Lion's Gate, especially in Egypt, just before the sun comes up. So there is like a Sirius rise, and then comes the sun. And that time was very much celebrated because they were in a high connection with the stars. You also can see how the pyramids are built exactly in the Orion constellation. They were very much in connection with the stars. And Sirius has a special place there. So this date, where is been already in ceremonies celebrated for so long, I don't know what the records want to channel tomorrow. I have no clue. But I know from the last couple of years that we did that event is that every time I just stepped into a reality where I felt more in alignment with what it means to be abundant, what it means to be in relationship with that, to be a great giver and a great receiver, to be an amazing energy when it comes to this. And since a couple weeks ago, I have been reading this book, as you know. Highly recommend. It's more than 100 years old, this book. Florence Scovel Shinn, The Game of Life and How to Play It. I actually had a birthday dinner and I got the Spanish version for a couple of my friends, and I just gave the Spanish version to everybody. It's like, please read this. It's cool. So I also have a Spanish version for myself, so I can learn a little bit of Spanish. But this book is gives me so much clarity on how to think and feel and talk with life in a way that truly brings very clear signs of abundance, of prosperity. It's amazing. So yeah, let's. I don't know. I don't know if that answers your question. I don't know what they're gonna share tomorrow. I think that's for tomorrow. But I'm looking forward to stepping into the Lion's Gate with them, with you, and with everybody.
Yes, we'll wait and see.
Yeah, yeah. So Jeroen says, do you have any special plans for the eclipse next week? Yes. Alif is organizing a dance, and I am doing my August of Abundance event. So those are my plans. And then Yeah, I think it's very beautiful. I will like I'm not in the zone where it's a complete eclipse, but I will definitely go out in a moment where it's happening. The complete eclipse, I think, is in the north of Spain. I will not go to the north of Spain. I will stay here. But it's gonna be beautiful, and I'm gonna check it. It's
Time is it?
that's a good question.
Mm.
That's a good question. Let's look that up. Yeah, maybe Sweden is also part of it.
Maybe.
Right.
I'll check it out.
Right. Um, total eclipse. What do you have any plans, Shirun? Do you want to come to Spain?
Oh, that would be amazing.
Exactly. Total eclipse. Which time? Which time? Which time? Spain. Yeah. Let's see. Canary Islands. It's 8:30 p.m. 8:30 p.m. So quite late. It's what AI is saying. We have to fact check it. Maybe I can specifically say Malaga. Yeah. So we have a 95% solar eclipse. That's still incredibly high. 8:38. 8:38 p.m. local time. Yeah. So that's definitely outside of my event. So I can go. Yeah. All right. Beautiful. Do you have any plans?
I will stay at home this week with my daughter. No special plans, just
Yeah.
hanging out with her.
Yeah.
It's been not so good this summer, but it's getting better.
Oh, beautiful. Beautiful. Jeroen says here in the chat he's going for a little trip to the camper for a week. Just to get the feel of use again, heading into the forest of Germany. Oh, beautiful. The Black Forest. Oh. Kikika Miller says, I just wanted to thank you for your recent video where you discussed that degrading thoughts as non-natural thoughts. Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much.
It was a really great answer.
Yeah.
Very much on point.
Wow. I love it. So happy to be of service. All right.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. I think it might be a good time to close. I'm very grateful to be with you all. But let's celebrate the weekend and let's. Oh wait, Kikika says something. Now, when my mind worries, I just tell myself that is not natural thought, and it helps. Yeah, yeah. Of course. Like worry is really not like worry comes later. Like worry is not natural. Worry is conditioning. Always conditioning. Right? We are if you get into the scriptures, and I never read the Bible, but I'm studying different people that read the Bible, and I'm studying different people that read the Bhagavad Gita and the Quran and the Quran and all the holy scriptures. There is this that they all say that we are created in the image of a higher mind, a higher power. They can be called God, it can be called the universe, like the creator. There is this creator that somehow created all these beautiful things, and when you start to look at the geometry of things, you really see patterns everywhere occurring across all of the galaxy. So it's kind of a fractal creation that he created. And in every of these scriptures, they tell you that you're in the image and likeness of the divine. The divine really doesn't worry. It really doesn't. Right? So if we are in the essence of it, like if we are truly in the creation of it, and I believe so too, and we did a couple of sessions in the Sacred Alignment Academy on it over the last weeks, where we truly went deep into this, specifically this topic. You actually notice, like, no, let's own these divine qualities more instead, right? What are the divine qualities? We were talking about infinite possibility, creativity, creation, unconditional love, so much love, constantly giving, like the sun, constantly shining, constantly radiating. The divine loves harmony, like you see harmony all over nature. You see beautiful ecosystems, all somehow feeding into each other. You see so many incredibly wonderful things. You see so much harmony in the universe, right? Even if you see an animation of our solar system, like there is this wonderful little movie of like this is how most people think our solar system moves, and then this is how it actually moves, and then it kind of takes in the speed of the sun. The sun moves in incredible speed, and then you see all of these wonderful planets circling around each other at different rates. It looks so beautiful to just witness that. And there are some people that draw the shapes of the planets around the sun, and you create these wonderful mandalas, and geometries are created. Like this universe is so beautiful and so harmonious, and so magical. So yeah, so let's tap into these qualities. Let's tap into your cool qualities, right? And let's not let doubt and worry and anything have any power. Let's stop it completely. It's really wonderful to just know that is conditioning, that it is not true. I also noticed that there are some things inside of your being that actually know what is true and what is good for you and what is not good for you. And those are way more placed in the body than in the mind. You will notice that your heart space is able to open or close compared if something is not good. Your gut might open or close. Your spleen or some emotions in your body might let you know. Every design is a little bit different, but like these are the qualities that also animals have. That's also why there were no dead wild animals found after a tsunami in Thailand. That's like it hit like a rainforest. A rainforest is full of animals. There was no wild dead animal found. All of these animals felt inside of themselves that danger was coming and fled. We still have these same qualities, they're just not in the prefrontal cortex. But the prefrontal cortex is what has been praised in all of these in our in our schools, and the prefrontal cortex has wonderful value, but we should not rely on the prefrontal cortex to define what is good or bad. It's way more in the body. So hope that helps.
Yes.
Yeah. Amazing. All right, I think it's a good time to close the stream. Thank you so much for being with me. Have a wonderful weekend. If you want to join the August of Abundance, let's go. Let's all get prosperous. Let's all get abundant. And yeah, I wish you a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you so much for joining this stream. See you soon. It's interesting because I see myself